bad. I'll at least know without running at full speed. The hell are you doing in here? That's new. Morning. It's a nice cool day. I think it's in the 30s now, but this morning it was like 28 degrees. And before that it rained and then the ground froze, and now it's just probably too cold, wet combination of the both to go in the field. So we're still waiting to do that and running around getting stuff ready. I noticed this thing, the transmission level was over full and the hydraulic fluid was low, so it's leaking in there. And I already did the PTO clutch, and I'm about 99.9999% sure that that's not leaking, which means it is a hydraulic pump which is leaking externally. So it's probably a good chance it's leaking internally too. And if that's not the problem, or doesn't fix it, there's a thin little plate in here in between the two housings that could crack or rust, which might be doing it. But if it's that, then I gotta move all this off, take these off, basically tear the back half of the tractor in half, which I don't want to do. So we're going to do the hydraulic pump first and see if that's our cause. And like I said, it was leaking, so tear that off, get it resealed up. Hopefully that fixes the issue. And if not, then we got to tear all this off. And I'm not looking forward to doing that. Don't really want to do that. This is going to be hopefully not too bad of a job. It would be nice if there was more room. But I don't know. The tractor's actually spaced out pretty wide, so it could be worse. I'm probably going to take that fender off just cause. So. But I'm going to move this tractor from where it's sitting now over to here, so hopefully that'll leave all this space open. Basically, if I need to pull anything else in, I can pull it in. Tractor will be over here, somewhat out of the way. So let's get to it. Another thing I might do is swap out this pipe for that one, instead of the sound blowing over and right back to me. Maybe it'll shoot it up. I don't know. I should buy a muffler. Can't bring myself to do it though. But it is freaking loud on this thing, and it's fun for about a minute, maybe 30 seconds, and then you're like, okay, a muffler would be pretty cool. So who knows? Probably will. Probably should. But alright, let's move this thing. I also have a new key switch coming because my accessory position on the key switch is dead, which is why I have no tack or gauges, nothing. So we get that done, we can if anyone knows what I have to adjust on the fuel pump on this to make it not want to fire up and take off at 2,000 RPM and then settle back down to idle, I would like to know. Don't you just love it when you're like halfway through a project and you remember things you should have done before you started the project? Like for instance, before I ripped out this hydraulic filter and basically started this, I should have cleaned it up, and then that way I could have seen where it was leaking and paid more attention to what I need to fix. Because there's a bunch of oil right there, and all around where the pump seals into the rear end housing. So I don't know if it was leaking from there and going to here, or going from here and going to there. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. And I shoulda. And I could've. And I would've. If I would've just thought about it. Sometimes I think this tractor just wanted to be left alone in the swamp. Why won't you love me? Well, there's now a big hydraulic pump missing there. Had the filter out and the pump out. And this right here is the seal that I hope is bad. And I don't know, it don't look bad, but who knows, it might just be rock hard. Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't know. Be able to tell once I get it out. But parts store doesn't have it, so they had to order it. It's Friday now, so Tuesday next week maybe. Oh, so this is gonna be down hogging up room for a while. What do you do? But in other words, it's Friday, and that was my only plan for today, so now I gotta find something else to do to look busy. So on second thought, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be able to eat or sleep until I pull the seal out and figure out if it's actually bad or not. If I feel it and it's like rock hard, chances are it's bad and it was just seeping oil through, which would make me feel better. So then I know hydraulic fluid is going in through there to the rear end. And so I know this is my problem, not that plate. But one thing I can't figure out is there is hydraulic fluid in this cavity. So I don't know if it's just there is hydraulic fluid in there, but it's not high enough pressure to do anything. I got no idea. Because basically this little port right here has hydraulic fluid going into it, which this seal is supposed to keep hydraulic fluid out of inside there. So why? I'm just really hoping it's a seal. I don't want to tear off all that. Gross. Because basically every freaking line on this rear end's got to come off to do it, because they all cross over it. You know in that movie Shrek, how he's always like, "Get out of my swamp." That was this tractor. He just wanted to be left alone. And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get this tractor and put a Cummins in it, and it'll be cool. Yeah. Alright. I had to get a little mean with it to get it out, but I mean, there's no resistance. So I mean, oh man, yeah, it just fell in there. I didn't even have to press it in. I mean, the lips got a little, they're not really springing back, so seal is, I'm gonna say bad. That's good, that makes me feel a lot better. I was over here contemplating, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just put 80-90 in the hydraulic fluid, let it drain back, whatever, just pump it back up. But I'm kidding, I wouldn't do that. Maybe I would, I don't know. really don't know how bad I do not want to pull that off. But this seal's definitely bad. It's bad. So I gotta get that seal, the gasket that goes on this, and pop it back together, and fingers crossed, pray for the white, hashtag it, get it trending, and then we can get this thing back in the field, because if it's going good, not leaking, running good, I don't know, I might throw it on the grain drill. Not looking forward to blowing my eardrums and sucking all that dust in, but if you look cool doing it, hey, that's everything, right? Now taking bets on what's the odds I'm going to lose this little keyway somewhere along the line. Alrighty, I forgot where the last time I checked in, but this was that housing that the main pump bolted into. Big shout out to Chris Losey, because it turns out this housing is actually the hydraulic cooling pump. So that line there goes up and all the way to the front to the hydraulic cooler, and then it's got a line that comes in under the dash, or vice versa. The only other Oliver White, I know our 1855's got a pump up on the motor that actually does this, and I guess they thought, hey, let's do a separate pump, you know, instead of just doing it all with one pump. So here's a little pump there, and in this tube here is what is a seal that also separates hydraulic oil from the gear oil in the transmission. So what I thought the seal on that was is also the seal on this. Now on other models, it is just that seal on that pump. For the 2150 and probably a few others, they threw this pump in there kind of to mess with people, I guess. But I gotta tear this down. There's a couple bearings in there, get at that seal, which of course is not the same seal as that. I mean, that'd be way too easy. But we're gonna tear into this, try to keep it clean. Alright, so it's Saturday, and the tear down of this video took way too long, so I kind of did a lot of this stuff off camera. Got the new seal in here, way tighter than the old one, and anyway, the old seal in this, I pulled it off and I put my thumb on it and it just shattered apart. That piece, that's a rod. I don't know, you can imagine it. This is the other seal for the other hydraulic pump. This little doohickey here is what drives this cooling pump. It comes through this shaft, and there's a coupler on here that drives the main hydraulic pump. And basically this is the seal in here that I'm positive was the one that was bad and letting hydraulic fluid back in. So get all this buttoned up and back together, and hopefully she doesn't leak. So I went to put one of the seals in and it was not the right seal, and after double checking my part number, I realized that according to the parts books it was the right seal, but it was twice as big on the shaft, twice as big on the opening. It was not the right seal. So I don't know if it's a different pump, which I doubt it, because the shaft size has a coupler coming out of the tractor, so it'd have to be the same size shaft, which that's half the measurement of a seal. So after a good hour of scrounging the internet, I did not find the exact seal. I guess I did find the exact seal, but I don't want to wait a week to get it. So the correct one is a double lip seal. The one I'm going to get is a single lip, but there's oil on both sides. And I mean, it's not a true double lip seal where it's solid. It's basically a single lip seal with a flap, two ridges on it, if you want to call it that. But we are headed to go pick up that one, and the seal I'm going to pick up is actually only 13 bucks instead of 40, so that's good too. Away we go. All right, here's the old one. Pretty much fall right in there. If you flip it around, the seal is pretty loosey-goosey in there. And the new one, ooh, nice and snug. Oh, that feels good. That's not the most well, it'll take a little pounding. It's actually a snap ring that goes in behind it, so not too concerned about that, but it fits real nice on that shaft, so good. It's good. Alrighty, all installed. Let's get this gasket and silicone peeled out of there. This thing is dirty. That one smells like gear oil. I don't know, something in between. A little too strong for hydraulic oil. But get all this cleaned up. Get this puppy back together. So, if you can't notice, it's nighttime. It's dark out. In the last couple days, I've been coming up to the shed here. I've been smelling a skunk, so there's like a slight possibility I turn this light on, there's going to be a skunk somewhere. So I'm just going to be ready for that. Okay. That's a good sign. Of course, he's probably just hiding somewhere. And as soon as I step on him, he's going to spray me, but can't win them all. Hopefully tonight I'm going to get this thing back together. Alright. I got the cooling pump in, which is also the housing for the main pump. I got the gasket here. We're going to throw some silicone on here and slap her in. I'm trying to speed up now because this video is already going to be way longer than it should be. So we're going hard and fast now. Don't you just love it when you go to record a video and you're actually just taking a picture? So the rain kind of calmed down, which is alright because I was yelling before. It was a little bit of a hurricane, but I got the new gasket on the pump. I'm going to switch you guys over to that camera so I can use my hands, and we're going to put it up in there and hopefully line that up right with that little bitty shaft that is actually inside there. So that's going to be fun. I got that seal in. Oh, that seal in. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Alright, we're going to throw that in. Alright, got the main pump in. And in case you didn't know, there's a bolt. That's the head of it right there. And that is about as much fun as it looks like to get a wrench on it. This side, piece of cake. But got the pump on. I'm gonna start throwing up lines and hopefully get that filter housing on. And I gotta check the time. I'm trying to get it all together here tonight, so let's go. Well, bit of a good news, bad news situation. Good news is I got everything on, all the lines tight, and just double checking everything. I think I got it all good to go. Bad news is I put that filter on, and there must have been a good half a gallon of oil in there, and where else would it go but my pants? So I'm gonna get the shower as soon as I get in, which probably ain't a terrible idea. But I'm gonna throw probably a 2.5 gallon jug of hydraulic fluid in it. Put a empty pan under it just to make sure nothing's leaking out, and hopefully that'll be enough to kind of drain down overnight and fill the pump and get all the air out of it. And so I'm signing off for tonight. I suppose tomorrow we'll come back, fill it all the way up, and see what happens. And if she holds together, we're throwing the duals on. Well, apparently, either doing that does not drain the whole reservoir, or it just takes a long time for the oil to get down there, because I think I did 3 or 4, so only, 7.5 gallons or 10, I can't remember. I think the whole system holds like 15, and yeah, you can see what happened. It's full now. Do not open that cap. Don't ask. So that's all rounded up. I got my pan under there. Can't see anything leaking yet, so hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully that pan looks just like that in the morning, and hopefully when I pull that plug, all the oil soaked down. I think I can look in the book. I think there's some way to bleed it through, but I'll let gravity do it instead. So now we just wait, and by wait I mean sleep. I'm tired. Well, we got nothing in the barrel overnight, but I pulled the cap off and that's still overflow, so I don't know if anything ran down into the pump yet. So I'm going to clean all this crap off the tractor and fire it up. I'm probably going to hold the throttle lever down so it doesn't actually start, and just turn it over with the starter and kind of let that work that pump over. Maybe if I do that, if it grinds or does something bad, I'll at least know without running at full speed. The hell are you doing in here? That's new. Go. I don't want you pooping in here. Go away. Alright. I'm pretty sure I got it bled out. It was loud before. I cracked a couple lines and just turned it over with the key. And sound went away. I got steering. If I hit my levers, the hoses tighten up, like there's pressure there. So check the reservoir again. That came down. I got a little bit of a leak going, but that's coming right out of the overflow from the cap, so I must have just overfilled it a touch when I put coolant in it, topped it off. Maybe it didn't need topping off, but I'm gonna call this one done. Later today I'm gonna put the duals on, but that's gonna be a separate video because this video is way too long. So thanks for watching. Morning. Apologies in advance for how long this video gets. I don't know how long it's gonna be by the time I edit it out, but I know I got probably 40 minutes worth of footage. It was supposed to be a quick in and out, change the seal, and turns out there's another seal behind that seal, and I was waiting on parts, yada yada. I wanted to have this video out a couple days sooner too, but when I sat down to edit it last night, Colt was having severe abdominal pain, and there's just nothing we could do to console him, and so we ended up going to the ER, and turns out he's just full of shit. So, in the sense that his colon was all not really completely blocked, but it was full, and I guess there was some gas on the other side of that was causing the pain, and he's good now. We loaded him up with X-Lax, and he lost about 5 pounds, but he's back to his usual self. And I see we're up to about 325 subs, so thanks for that. Welcome to the new people. And again, apologies this video is so long, but it's how it went. So, thanks.